Welcome to the DoD Skillbridge Course. So I'm Keith. I'm the founder of the Skillbridge Network. It's a massive group on Facebook that consists of 25.2 thousand members, and we're growing around 2.5 thousand people a month. Okay, so an overview. We're going to talk about the DoD Skillbridge program. I'm going to explain it to you. Then we're going to talk about some facts. These are facts that I've seen throughout the group, a lot of questions that people will ask over the last year and a half. Then it's going to go into plan and prep. So this is something that you need to be doing right now. Like as soon as you get to your first base, you need to be planning and prepping so you're not wasting tuition assistance or cool dollars. And then I'm going to go to a DoD Skillbridge website. It's going to be a walkthrough of the actual website itself so you know how to navigate it. And then we're going to go to start networking. And this is really going to hone in on the point that 85% of jobs are filled through networking, not the jobs that you would see on Indeed or any of these other job sites where you would upload your resume, et cetera, so on and so forth. It's all about who you know and the type of person you are and how you connected with them. And then step 3, land the job. And then finally, conclusion. Okay, so what is the DoD Skillbridge program? So it is a program that allows you, the service member, to intern or do an apprenticeship with a specific industry, right? And here's the key point, something that you want to do. So you could be in the Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines, and you could work on a submarine at the bottom of the ocean. You could be building bombs for the Air Force. You could be infantry. It doesn't matter. You can go from those positions and literally do a 6-month internship with a company and be information technology, human resources. You could go into trades. It doesn't matter. That's the great thing about the Skillbridge program is that if you set yourself up, basically as soon as you start your service, and you get credentials and you get a degree and something that you want to do after you separate, the sky is the absolute limit. So this program allows you up to 6 months at the very end of your enlistment. And there's one important thing that needs to be noted is that this is not it has to be approved by your commander. So it says that right on the website. Manning does play a factor, but the more you talk about this with your leadership, the more that you train your replacements to take over for you, the better off that you're going to be. Because at the end of the day, the commander and your superintendent, whether that be a senior NCO or whoever, they're in a position to where they have to keep the mission going. So if you've done everything that you can to make sure that it flows smoothly before you leave, the chances are going to be much better for you to get picked up for a Skillbridge internship. And it's also important to note that it is up to 6 months. There are programs that are 30 days, there's 90 days, 120 days, etc. Just do what you can to capitalize on this program so that way you can get a great job whenever you get out of the military. Okay, so let's talk about some facts. So, like I said earlier, Skillbridge is not an entitlement. It must be approved by your unit commander. The website and the verbiage on your references will say first 04 or field grade commander in chain of command, right? So the commander is not going to make a decision in a vacuum. Rarely ever will they do that. And it's up to you, the service member, the person that's transitioning, to start that conversation with your supervisor as soon as possible, to train your replacements, to make sure that when you leave that there's not going to be this huge deal, right? You're going to leave, and if you've done it correctly, everything's going to flow smoothly just like it did before because you've trained your replacement. You've trained the people that can step in and help you out before your actual replacement gets there so that way you can attend the Skillbridge program and land a great job. So here's one thing that is important to know is that you can relocate across the entire country. Granted, there are some Skillbridge programs through providers that might be specific to a certain city and state, but you don't have to stick to that. A lot of them are either remote, which you can do at your base, or you could relocate and do a remote at the place where you want to live. But there's also a ton of places that you can pull up the Skillbridge website and navigate down to specific industries, specific niches, right, that are located in the place where you want to live after you separate from the military, and then you do the internship, and then The whole point is that the company is going to do their best to try to hire you. And I think that if you put your best foot forward and you're a good person, you work hard, you're not creating a bunch of friction and things like that, I mean, your chances of getting hired are pretty good. But the company does retain the right to not hire you. But at the end of the day, you still gained a skill set that you can write down on a resume to get hired in that same niche at an entry-level position. So you can be called back to duty if requested by the commander who approved your application. So planning and prepping is the absolute key to a successful SkillBridge transition, hands down. You have to know your why. What do you really want to do and make money doing it to where you are happy? Life is too short to be doing some dead-end job, and you spent your time in the military, and there's so many things and opportunities for you that you don't have to be stuck at that dead-end job. I cannot stress that enough. So, but you have to plan. You got to figure out your why, and don't chase money. So you can make a whole bunch of money whenever you separate or retire, but is that what's really going to make you happy? Your success 100% begins and ends with you. Nothing in this life is going to be handed to you. You have to go out and you have to face fear. You have to face rejection. You have to face the unknown, and you got to sprint towards these things, right? And understand that you need to develop a mindset of fail forward, because 99% of the time, regardless of what it is that you're trying to get after, right? It might end up being a no, but there's still that 1% chance that it's not going to be a no. And then you crush through that barrier. You need that mindset if you want to be really successful in the military and outside. Okay, so next thing up is the SkillBridge Network site. So I developed a website that is geared towards a checklist, because let's be honest, we're in the military, we're used to checklists, right? So it is in step 1, step 2, step 3. So if you visit the link right there, you can learn how to plan and prep, and it will go in a lot more depth for you as well. All right, cool. So you saw the SkillBridge Network website. I just showed you one portion, and we're going to be referencing that throughout this course as well. But for now, let's get back to the actual DoD Skillbridge website. So this video is going to step you through the whole website, how to navigate it, how to look for opportunities, what's applicable to you, right? So let's go and check that out now. All right, so this is the official DoD Skillbridge page. If you're trying to find resources, if you're trying to find companies that have been approved, industry partners, employers, how do you start your SkillBridge internship, apprenticeship at your local base? This is the only place that you should be looking. There are a plethora of resources that are going to show you opportunities, right? And even the Facebook group, SkillBridge and Veteran Employment Network, there are a ton of opportunities, and it's a great place to network. But at the end of the day, this is your spot. You need to be in the actual DoD SkillBridge website looking for official stuff. All right, let's hop into it. So the first thing is a program owner overview, and we're just going to tab through this, and I just want to kind of show you a quick walkthrough of the website, right? So the program overview is going to talk to you about what the SkillBridge program is, military members. So remember, you have overview, and then you can got determine eligibility right here. There's testimonials. But let's go back to determine eligibility, right? So you have to understand that, once again, I have to say this, I can't say it enough, and that's that the SkillBridge program is not an automatic. It has to be approved by your local commander, the first 04 in your chain that has the authority to basically hand out Article 15s. In the Air Force, we call this somebody with G-Series orders. It's our unit commander. Now, that name might be different with the Navy, Army, Marines, Coast Guard. So talk to your local transition office first, and then if you're Air Force, it needs to be your education office. So they are the ones that are going to actually put it into the system. They're the ones that are going to give you the correct information that you need to get your apprenticeship or internship approved at the local level. Spouses. There's a great program called Spouse Education and Career Opportunities, and this is actually hosted by the Military OneSource. So it's very well known that spouses, it's hard for them to get a job because we're always PCSing, right? So if you get them plugged into SECO, you'll have a Military OneSource representative, a local one, that's going to help you help your spouse land a job. It's a huge network. They have LinkedIn groups to where spouses can get plugged in with certain opportunities, et cetera, so on and so forth. Industry partners, employers. This one does not pertain to people that are in the military or transitioning from the military. This is a tab for companies that are going to reach out to the actual DoD Skillbridge website and create their own Skillbridge program. And once again, they can do the same. They have an overview, get started. They have a get started toolkit. They have to create a training plan, a CompSI matrix, a job description, all of these things to get approved. And then how to participate. If you see a company that you want to be to have a Skillbridge program, and let's say it's in your hometown, but they aren't a part of it, you could send them this. I have another video that gives them a walkthrough of this page. You can share that video with them as well. But another option is to talk with Hiring Our Heroes or Seven Eagle Group and ask them if the company can basically partner with Hiring Our Heroes or Seven Eagle Group or maybe Recruit Military. I'm not sure if Recruit Military does, and I'm sure they do. But basically what they can do is the company will align under one of those recruiting agencies, and your internship or apprenticeship will be with Seven Eagle Group, or it will be with Hiring Our Heroes or Recruit Military, Hire Military. And basically you'll be working at the job where you want to be, but your internship isn't going to be under that specific job. It will be under one of the recruiting agencies. So commands and installations, this is for your leadership. It's a toolkit to help them understand what the Skillbridge program is so they can better serve you, the member. There's really no reason for you to be on this one either. All right, Skillbridge locations. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is the one that you really need to pay attention to. So this has all of the companies that have been vetted and are approved for a Skillbridge program. So this used to be a map. It is no longer a map. I think this is better. You can go down to Program Provider and look at all of the different companies that are approved. All services, you could go Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Marines, Navy. You could go duration of training. It's important to know that Skillbridge is up to 180 days. Not all programs are 180 days. Some are 30 to 60 to 120. And you can select something that better fits your needs, something that better fits your timeline. Delivery method. So hybrid, in-person or online. There's hybrid, in-person and online, and then there's in-person, and then there's online. So just know that there are courses or there are internships to where you get training online 100% and it's remote. And then after that, you have the possibility of getting selected for what would be called a W-2 employment, which just means that you get hired on, right? So it's important to note that not everybody is going to get picked up for a Skillbridge program. The company still retains the right to say yes or no, and I think a lot of that personally has to do with your performance during the Skillbridge internship. The company is going to see if you're a good fit or if you're not a good fit. How much ROI are they going to get off you? How much do you care? How much effort are you putting forward? So just keep that in mind, that there are both online or in-person ways to do Skillbridge or apprenticeship internships. Okay, so location. This is probably where everybody is going to start, I would imagine. So, you are separating from the military and you are more than likely going to go back to your home of record, or maybe even you're going to go somewhere completely different. You can literally just go by state, select, you'll just select Missouri, right? And then these are all of the approved Skillbridge companies in Missouri. So it goes from page 1 to 24. Every state is going to have something different. Okay, so now looking at job families, you can continue to narrow this search down and down and down. So, for example, I'm in Missouri right now, but let's say I want to get into community and social service. Is there anything for that? Oh, check it out. There are 3 pages of opportunities in that specific niche. All right, so moving on to company, this is basically the same thing from what I've seen personally as provider and program. It lists all the different companies that are a part of the Skillbridge website. All right, so we're back on the main page, and I think the most important thing that you need to know on the DoD Skillbridge website is this right here, resources. Everything you need to know about the DoD Skillbridge program and officially is right here. So download this stuff, read it, learn what your guidance is for your specific service. And then once you know that, then you need to start talking to your supervisors and your local transition assistance providers in the education office to figure out what your local process is going to be at the flight, or in the Air Force, we call it flights, right? We'll just call it work center for sake of ease. And this is all of the knowledge that you need to know, and you need to get smart on this. You need to be prepped. Okay, so like I said, just a quick overview of the Skillbridge video. But with that said, let's get back into the course. So networking, this is key. 85% of the jobs are filled through networking. It's not through a job post to where you would upload your resume. And let's be real, none of us really know how to write resumes because we've been in the military the whole time, But there are a ton of resources out there that will help you write your resume. And even some of these resources, they'll write it for you and place your resume and your internship with a specific company that matches up what you want to do, like hiring our heroes, for example. So many great resources. But before you start any of that, ask questions on Facebook. So we have a Skillbridge and Veteran Employment Network that is up to 25.2 thousand people. And a large majority of these people are going through the same thing that you are, right? And there's another large majority that have already done it. And there's no such thing as a dumb question. So get on there and ask questions. Talk to peers. Talk to business owners. Talk to nationwide recruiters, right? And network on Facebook. Okay, so next up is activating your free LinkedIn membership. So every single person that is transitioning from the military gets a 1-year subscription. And this allows you to send messages to recruiters and business owners, talent managers, human resources professionals via a direct message. So you cannot do that if you just have the regular free subscription. You have to pay for a subscription to be able to send people that are outside of your network a message. So the sooner that you can conduct informational interviews, the better. Trust me. As soon as you graduate tech school and you get to your first base, you're finished with your upgrade training, you're ready to rock and roll, you're ready to start that certification, you're ready to start that degree plan. And a lot of times what happens is we fall into this thinking that it has to be aligned to what our job in the military is, right? So then we do our 4 or 6 years, we learn that we don't like the military, and then we have this degree that we don't want to use. So don't do that, right? Use your tuition assistance, your GI Bill, your cool funding on something that you want to do. Unless you plan on retiring from the military, that's your why, then sure, sprint towards it, right? Get your education into your MOS, AFSC, or rating. But let's talk about why these informational interviews are so important. Because you can talk to people on LinkedIn that are already doing this job, right? So let's say you want to be in information technology, and before you have started any of your certifications, you talk to somebody on LinkedIn and you hold an informational interview. And it's asking them, what is your culture like? What is a day in the job like as an IT person? What do you get paid? What are the great things about it? What are the terrible things about it, et cetera, so on and so forth. And you might learn that IT is not the route you want to go. IT might even suck, right? So, and then that's going to prompt you to use your GI Bill, your tuition assistance, your cool funding for certifications into something that you actually want to do. And I think this is a huge point that we miss across the entire spectrum. Yes, we get a ton of resources, but we don't really discover our why because we just joined the military. Some of us at like 18, 19 years old, we don't even think about why. We're like, what is this why everybody keeps talking about? I have no idea what I want to be when I grow up, So instead of saying, what is your why, what are you passionate about? You could be 18, 19 years old and still be super passionate about something, right? And that something can probably make you money. So follow that route. Hold the informational interview. Okay, so next up, send connection requests on LinkedIn to the company you want to intern at. This builds trust. They get to know who you are, and they see that you are engaged with what they're trying to do. So whenever it comes time for you to get a job, hopefully you've already sent messages to the people that are that are making those posts. And then what happens is you become part of the 85% stat. You have networked. What happens is when the job comes open, the person that already works there says, hey, you should check out this guy. This guy or this girl, man, they're on point. They know what they're doing. And the next thing you know, you are landing an interview to apply for that position. Okay, phase 3, land the job. I cannot stress how important this is. Lose the ego. Be smart, but very humble. I say this all the time. You want to be one of the smartest people in the room, but also the most quiet and most humble. Because life is about networking. Life is about relationships. And if you are the smartest person in the room and you are making that known, you're only getting your point across to 1 or 2% of people. But if you're quiet and you listen and you develop these relationships that develops trust, whenever it is turn to speak, everybody is going to listen to you. Everybody's going to have your back because now they see you as more of a mentor, more as a friend, you know? So if you have a $20 bill, are you going to give that $20 bill to a random stranger, or are you more inclined to give it to somebody that is a good friend? You know, this is no different. So lose the ego, be smart, be very humble, be engaged. Okay, so learn how to write your own resume. This is so important. So there is a stat out there, and I'm sure it changes year by year, but it's blatantly obvious that the majority of people in the military change jobs very soon after they transition from the military, right? And this goes back to finding your why, because we don't spend time figuring out what we want to do. What are we passionate about? What's our why? And how do I make money doing that? How do I find that Skillbridge internship that matches up to what I want to do to where I'm not miserable every single day? The reason this is so important is because if you don't do that, you're going to get a job and you're not going to like it, and you're going to want to change jobs, and possibly again and again and again and again. It doesn't look good on a resume because it shows a hiring manager or a hiring official that you are a job jumper or insert whatever, right? And they're not going to really get their return on investment on you. So find out your why. Learn how to write your own resume. Crush the interview. This is the most important aspect of anything that I'm teaching you right now. You have to learn as much as you can about that company on their website, on their Facebook. Maybe they've got a TikTok and Instagram, but I would recommend their website because that's going to have all of the nitty-gritty information that they do. You know, what is their product? What is their service? Look at their blog. Read through their blogs. And be prepared for hard questions that the person interviewing might ask, you know. And don't go in there and be a robot. So it's important to remember that you could have the best resume in the world, and that thing is only designed to get you through the applicant tracking system. And it's up to you to crush the interview, right? So a company might have a position and they have 300 applications, and the applicant tracking system picks you because you're awesome, right? So you have this interview, but you go in, you're not prepared, and you're a robot, and you're scared, you're freaked out. It's not going to go well for you. So practice, prep. Learn everything you can about that company and go in there with confidence and crush it. All right, so conclusion. The DoD Skillbridge program, in my personal opinion, is one of the best programs since the DoD implemented tuition assistance. Now, I do think that is probably echoed far and wide. There isn't another company or organization other than the military that's going to say, you know, hey, you've done a great job for us for 4, 6, 20, 30, 40 years. Why don't you spend 30, 60, 90, 120, 180 days to go work for our competitor? And I'll pay you to do that, you know. And not only am I going to pay you, I hope you get that job so that way you can do great things over there and then put us out of business. That makes zero sense. That's not a thing. So capitalize on this. You have an opportunity right now. If you are smart and you plan and you get your degree and your certifications into something that you want to do when it's time for your turn to transition, if you follow this video to a T, you're going to be very successful. Okay, so is the DoD Skillbridge program the absolute end-all be-all for you? And the answer to that is an absolute no. There are programs like Recruit Military, 7 Eagle Group, Vets 2 PM. You could go to apprenticeship.gov, Hiring Our Heroes, and the list is going to go on and on and on and on. There are so many opportunities out there that are non-SkillBridge related. It will blow your mind. So with that said, as long as you did your prep work, like we talked about before, you're going to be just fine. So with that said, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and we'll see you in the next video.